I want to feel like an artist. So please expect more art on this channel coming soon. And I know this thing is gonna be a beast. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and this is the Lay Spirit Designs studio. But we're not doing a studio vlog today. After 7 long years this month, have finally finished my Chonky sketchbook. This thing has been with me since 2018 and I finally have finished it. A lot of this sketchbook is doodles and things for digital pieces that I was doing. Some merch is in here, some sticker club stuff is in here. There's not a lot of actual doodling or like exploring my art style or trying to improve my art, which is a huge bummer. I feel like it could have been more. Honestly, this sketchbook, I think it came from Target. It just says sketch on here and there's all kinds of stickers from other artists. You can definitely see what era this is from. And this thing is, good lord, I think it's a little bit more than like 8.5 by 11, if not like exactly that. Like it's a big sketchbook and it was like 280 pages. And honestly, I've hated it since I first had it. I truly hated it because I don't like the way the paper feels. It didn't interact very well with a lot of my pen tips and it didn't take wet media very well and I didn't have a very good time with it. So for some reason, I felt the need to finish this thing completely. It's been on my goals for literally years. Like, I think every year for the last 4 years, one of my goals was to finish the Chonky sketchbook. It's finally February 2025 and it's done, which actually is kind of cool because it was started in February of 2018. But I'm just gonna shut up and let's get into it. I really liked that this sketchbook had like a cover. If I was any more artistic in this era, I probably would have done something more with it. And this page was like kind of glued right here, so it is not the first page, but this is the first page. This starts out in the Voltron era. This was for a bigger piece that I was working on for a convention. I'll actually put the digital finished piece up on the screen so you can see it. This is actually a speed paint that was one of the first videos on this channel, so I'll link that. So yeah, this was for, I think, season 3 of Voltron, when Shiro was missing and Keith had taken over, and I felt lazy because I really just wanted to draw Keith and like get this concept down. So the rest of the paladins are in the final picture. I didn't feel like drawing them here. These are more concept sketches. I liked to thumbnail at this era, which was a good practice to have. This was a sketch of one of my booth redesigns, actually probably the first booth redesign I ever did when I first started tabling at conventions. This was a thumbnail for a commission that I did. I'll put that finished piece up on the screen. And this was a sketch for a concept of a witchy plant lady that never was finalized. This is another, I hate this sketch, loathe this sketch, but this sketch became one of my very favorite to this day digital pieces, which is also a time-lapse drawing. OCs. This was a piece, another finished piece that I put up right here. I think there's also a link for that one. I'm just gonna link the playlist, you guys. You can find it in the description below, or depending on how I feel, I'll put it like the playlist at the end of the video. But these were my original characters from a comic I started developing in early high school. And I did a lot of work to this comic in 2020 during the pandemic, mostly like trying to figure out like more plot points and things. I wasn't actually drawing it. It's one that's like my magnum opus. So I don't know that it'll ever actually come to be because I don't really have the patience for comics anymore. But there's also part of me that is going to be really sad if I never see this through. These were more thumbnails. I don't remember if this one became anything, but this one was a traditional piece that I'll put a picture of up on the screen. This one was a really fun one to do. I think this was concept pose for this piece. Which was another thumbnail that I did for a Voltron zine that I was part of. I'll put the finished piece up here. It's funny because like this one didn't age well, so don't come at me. I don't ship this anymore. I don't even think I shipped it at the time. I mostly just wanted to draw Allura being sexy and the queen that she is. More thumbnails. This is, I don't know. Like, this is where I get annoyed with myself for being like a merch artist first, is that all of this was for merch. So, except for this one. This was my fan art for the podcast Crime Junkie, which, if you guys are familiar with that at all, this was their very first piece of fan art ever, so I was really proud about that, and it became a sticker and all that stuff. This was, I think, the first version of my plant parent design that I did that became something else and then has since retired. And this was a sticker sheet I did for another Clance Voltron zine, and I'll put the finished pieces of all those things up here on the screen. These were fun. I really like these doodles. These were done with, I think, the Mod Liner pens, just kind of conceptualizing ideas that I had. This one became a keychain design that I still really like, but it didn't really fit like the vibe of my shop, so it didn't do very well, but I really love this piece. More She-Ra and Voltron fan art. I really was trying to figure out Adora's vibe in my style, and then just doing fun pose things with Blade of Amora Keith. This is my favorite pen that I've ever used. I don't know where it is, and it's out of ink, and I've never been able to find a replacement, but it's one that I got in Japan, and it was a Pokemon pen, and I'm so sad because this, oh, look at how small the lines are and the detail, but like, oh, I love this Lance, and he's having a Hanahaki unrequited love situation. Smooching, more doodles, Clance smooching, and then the aftermath. And then this was, I think, it was my last rewatch of Full Metal Alchemist, and I wanted to do the famous sailor kissing pose, but with like reversed genders for Winry and Ed. This is like me planning ahead for holidays, but the pages I cut out were brush pen lettering that I needed to render digitally. But these were, I made these wooden ornaments. I actually think I finally got rid of the last of them, and I had hand painted all of them. This was my very first like glitter epoxy keychain. This never became anything. And then these were concepts that I finished over here for like homemade screen printed totes that were a lot of fun to make, but the technique that I was using didn't go very well, and I'll put up pictures of like the totes that I had taken. But there was a plant one, there was this one that was about like loving fall. Yeah, here's some of the brush lettering that I had done for this, and I had used some of these like little holly berries and mistletoe berries for the only time I did wrapping paper, which also didn't do very well. I did one of these two as like a galaxy hair thing. I have a lot of galaxy hair ladies. Like, I've been painting and drawing galaxy haired ladies for years. And this became a coloring page that I did for free that people could download from my website. I think you can still download it. And then there's some Marceline and Princess Bubblegum. I was in a zine, and I was supposed to do, I think, an art piece that I was doing thumbnails for, and then also an enamel pin. But the zine got canceled, so I think this sketch was the last rendering I did before they were like, yeah, we're not going through with this, which was kind of a bummer because of all the zines that I've been a part of, most of them are Voltron. There's a couple of them that I've been a part of that I think I had done one for Steven Universe, and I never even watched Steven Universe, but I was invited to do it, so I was like, okay, I can draw these characters, but it's not going to mean anything to me. But I really liked this ship, and I was kind of bummed out that it didn't go anywhere. This was for some keychains I was doing for the first of the year new merch stuff. So I was doing Lotor and Allura and different sided keychains, and I think I settled on this concept. Yeah, here's the practicing these characters that I've never drawn before. I honestly hate these. Yeah, I'll put the finished piece up. And then this was, yeah, this is the thumbnail for that piece. It was like a Halloween sort of thing, like they're trick-or-treating. And then this was a comic I was working on. I never finished sketching out, but it was a Clance comic that I was envisioning every time I heard whatever song this is. I don't remember what song it is. I'll put the name of the song up so you guys can listen to it. But it was really sweet. It's like a post-series Clance, and Keith is staying at Lance's farm, and he can't sleep, and so while Lance is asleep, he's like telling him how much he means to him. And you know, just all that sappy stuff. And then here's me making more merch designs. So I was doing, these are all, literally all of these are old keychain designs. There was She-Ra, there's Catradora, there's Carmen Sandiego, some plant stuff. You can see I was listing out my ideas over here. I think these, in some concept, became stickers. Yeah, I think I had stickers of the starters for, I think this is Gen 9? I honestly don't remember. I'm like so behind on Pokemon stuff. And then the Fruits Basket remake had started to come out, so I was drawing some of this. This was one of my most popular stickers. I should probably bring this one back. All of these have become digital. This was a very cute keychain that I did. I don't think it had the words. On each side of the keychain, it was like the regular colors, and on the back side, it was their shinies. And then this is when all the stuff with Edward Elric's voice actor, whose name I cannot pronounce, all that bad stuff was coming out, so I was toying with the idea of doing a sticker design for this. And then I did a bunch of little tiny, this is when I used to make sticker packs, when I was still doing fan art. So there's some She-Ra stickers, and then I started doing some Carmen Sandiego stickers. I really like this style that I was doing. I really love this pen though. I miss this pen so much. And then I started doing some Dragon Prince stuff, which I'm so behind on. I think I only watched the first 2 seasons. More Dragon Prince. And then here's more like print and sticker ideas that I had. And these were all, actually almost all of these became posters. I still have this one in stock, I think, in my closet. But I'll put up all the drawings for these finished pieces up on the screen so you guys can see. More ideas. This was the SAC anime. I think this was still 2019. But this was the only time at SAC Anime that I did a vendor booth and not artist alley, and it was the worst SAC Anime I ever had. I don't remember. Obviously, I had these planned out for all these different prints. These became prints, and I loved them dearly. You can see them up on the screen as well. But I used to do a lot of thumbnailing in here, which was great. Here's my My Hero Academia stickers for the sticker packs. You can tell who I really liked to draw. And more Fruits Basket. This was when I think I was starting my sticker club on Patreon, and the first month was going to be Fruits Basket. So I was doing a sticker pack of Yuki, Kyo, and Toru and their animal / onigiri forms, and then I was also doing a print postcard. Back when I thought that setting up my Patreon this way was going to force me to draw more often, and it kind of backfired. So here I was thumbnailing different ideas for the postcard, and I think I went with this one in the actual finished drawing, which I'll put up on the screen. It is they're just under the tree, like in the very first ending theme. Oh, I love this spread. This, I wish I had done more stuff like this, because I really, really, really love this. Even though Choco's face looks really terrible in this, but I liked this one enough to make it its own standalone post on Instagram. And these were concepts for my Botanical Beauties, or whatever I called it, enamel pin Kickstarter. So these were all gold-plated, plant-related things. And I think, yeah, I think a lot of these ended up being just as they are. I'm really sad that that series didn't do better than it did. Oh, this was when I was in my Hero Academia phase. And even though you see a lot of ships on this page, just know this is one of the few shows that, like, I'm cool with 99% of the ships. Like, I can see all of them in some capacity. But what you see is, like, my faves. Don't come for me. I really liked, this was like the concept of a print where it was going to be Bakugo, Kiri, and there was going to be a third, maybe Denji? I don't remember who the third was going to be. It's been a while since I've been into My Hero, so sometimes the characters escape me. But I really like this one and that one, and I really like this one. This is my favorite ship. More concepts for my Kickstarter. This one I think was my favorite one to do. I still love drawing girls of this style with like big eyes and fluffy hair. And this one was I think this was the initial pin reward. But it was like, the concept of it was like when you see a plant that you have to have or something like that, you get really excited. This was me warming up, trying to doodle myself in a very unique style, very simplified style. I was working full-time at this time, and I believe I was doing this because my job, even though it was nowhere near my job description, wanted me to start making comics for them, of us. And the concept of that seemed fun, but it was giving me, I don't know, it was not a good time. These are thumbnails and concepts for a commission that I did for a logo. The logo turned out really cool, and I think we ended up going with this one, but with more detail. Ah, yes, this is early 2020. Yeah, this is the character designs for the comics that they wanted me to make it work, and I had to be like, look, drawing is my hobby, and I am in a graphic design position for a reason. I don't want this to be my job, and yet here we are. But I was kind of rolling with this simplified style, and we had started watching Mob Psycho, and I was just playing around with highlighters. Like, this is, I feel like, a very mid-2000s sort of doodle, or maybe even like a 2010s doodle, but I just loved the use of the highlighter and just like the block of color without anything but the details drawn in, and I wanted to redraw and I never did. But yeah, this is when New Horizons was coming out, Animal Crossing. And then this is probably pandemic. Yeah, this is like right before the pandemic. This is more stuff for work. This was like the sketch of a concept for the work comic thing that they wanted me to do. This was also a work thing that I was having to animate a logo. I don't animate. I don't know how to animate. And this is a thumbnail for a painting I did for my cousin's wedding. More pen doodles of girls. I really love pen doodles. I don't know if you can tell. There's something like incredible about them, that you are forced to make it right on the first try, and it forces you to improve a lot quicker than pencil doodles and being able to erase. And then this is definitely, this has to be like April, May 2020. So we're in lockdown at this point. Drawing my dogs, little Clarice. Her ears aren't high enough because it just looks silly, but she's got the dome head and all of her swoops and swirls and olive in her leggies. This was a concept I think I wanted to do for a pen, or a pin, like an enamel pin, but it never really came to be. More work stuff, more commission stuff. This became a keychain, very cute. This is when you can tell that favorite pen of mine is starting to die, and I was like going through it. Okay, so these are finished things. Actually both of these were from the first stages of my sticker club. So I think this was a postcard, and this also became a postcard that I painted. And then these were stickers. And then this is when I started to have the idea for shaker keychains. And I was like, man, I wish I could like make some way that these fireflies can move. And then I found out that that was a thing. So I made all of these little shaker keychains, and I had them in my shop for years. Like, they were some of my best sellers for so long. So we had the jar of fireflies, which I wish, once I figured out how to make them, I was like, man, I wish these could be glow in the dark, but I don't know that that technology came to be while they were like a thing in my shop. The Marimo moss ball was probably one of my very best sellers. So it was like the moss ball that shakes around in there with some bubbles. And then this one I really loved was Bottle of Wishes. So it was a dandelion and some sparkles, and then I think like a rose quartz shard. And then these were for another month for Patreon. It was Hanami, which is like cherry blossom picnic. And then this stuff was for my friend Fawnwood's April Colors that I was doing thumbnails for these. These two were digital pieces, which I'll put up on the screen. And this one is a traditional piece, which I still love to this very day, and I'll put that up on the screen as well. Oh, these are cute. This one, these are more postcard concepts for that Hanami. I really like that. I should probably go back and like reconceptualize that, because it's got Fuji-san in the background and all the cherry blossoms. It's a literal like postcard look. And then this one was really cute because it was like a couple walking through a park, and there's gonna be all the cherry blossoms and they're taking a selfie together, and there's Fuji in the background. And then this is the one that I ended up doing, where she's pulling the branch down and kind of covering her face, but you can see like all the detail. And I think it's like either frowned upon or against the law to actually touch the branches of the cherry blossoms because they're so delicate. So I don't know why I ended up going with that one. And then this one is funny. Let me flip that so you can see it. But this was definitely like peak Animal Crossing during lockdown, where like I played 8 hours a day, easy, if not more. And I got really into making my own outfits on Animal Crossing, so I would change my outfit every single day. I always made sure that I was like keeping up on my daily activities, so it was like my Animal Crossing character every single day, always cute, new outfit daily, talks to her neighbors, hustling for bells, and then me in real life, 56 bells per turnip? Nook, what the f... And then I've got dogs on either side of me, no makeup, only wearing pajamas, hella messy hair, hasn't left the house in maybe a week. These became watercolor pieces, and I think I had done the watercoloring versions of these like on an Instagram live way back in the day. I hate doing live streaming because I never know like what to do or what to talk about. And I always get really bummed out if like nobody shows up to them. So I don't do live streams. I probably won't ever do live streams. But these I think I have the scanned originals somewhere, but they became a succulent sticker pack, and those did pretty well in my shop. There's a lot to digest here. This was the concept for probably one of my very favorite keychains that I ever made of Celeste from Animal Crossing. And the background was translucent and you could see through the stars and all that, but it was to capture like how pretty it was to have like shooting stars on your island. More ideas for stickers and keychains. Oh no, sorry, shaker charms and keychains and pins. And then this is Ryan's handiwork. This was when, I don't know if you guys remember, when the TikTok trend was really popular, where you'd turn on the whirlpool filter and try to draw something and then turn it off and see how you did. And not only did I make him do that, but he was also drunk at the time. So I made him draw a cat, and he wrote the Meow Mix theme song. It's hilarious. And there was my attempt. It was very silly. So now we're in June 2020. This was when I started my sticker club back up, and I think this is when I really started to post on TikTok. So there is a finished version of this, but I really love this sketch. And again, you can see that this pen is starting to die and I'm really having to force it. Yeah, because I think these are different. These were some of my favorite TikTokers at the time. I don't remember her username, but she always had like her little side poofs and then the one front poof. And then this was Bunmira, who is a just soft girl cosplayer, and she's always stunning. So then this would have been for another month of Patreon concepts. These were the stickers for my cottagecore theme. More stickers for the cottagecore theme, and then these all became keychains for Animal Crossing. More shaker charms. So this was the concept for my love potion bottle. So it has like a rose petal, some sparkles, rose quartz, and lavender in there. This was the concept for my carnival goldfish shaker charm. And then this is my terrarium of fairies. I really like how just the gestures of these fairies, even though their arms are literally sticks, but just like, I don't know, I really like the line work on these. This is for a concept that I've been sitting on for years that I love. I say this all the time. If I've only had coffee that day, I will say I'm oops all coffee. And I think it was my best friend Chi that was like, you need to make merch of that in some capacity. And I've just never been able to quite like encapsulate the feel that I want it to be. maybe this one was the closest, but I never revisited it because I was just like, well, someday I'll figure it out and it'll come to me. But for now, it's sitting. More concepts for Patreon stuff. This was, I don't remember what I called this set, but I'll put the finished pieces up here. And then this was my one and only, like, attempt into the world of Ita bags. I was going to do, like, a potion bottle. Like, you can see, if you guys have been around for a little while, you'll know, like, about my shaker potions that are customizable. Like, potions are very important to me. And the fact that you can, like, put things in them and customize them or whatever, like, just the concept of that has always been really important to me. So, like, I had this idea and I was like, I really don't want to get into Ita bags. It's too much work. I don't have the space to store them. So this was scrapped quite quickly after this. More color. I think I was just, like, trying to get marks down on the paper. This is just one of my, like, Tombow markers that I used one of my, like, harder tip brush pens over to make the flowers. And then these are Poscas with that same brush tip to make the little witch. There has to have been more sketchbooks at this time because I'm thinking of other things that I've drawn that were in this time frame, but whatever. This was the sketchbook. So, this has to be like August time. So this is me working on spooky season stuff, conceptualizing September Sticker Club, which was like witchy flower, cottagecore-y pumpkin things. And then this is me also thinking of more shaker keychains. These, actually I think all of these in some capacity came to be. This one I never restocked, I had one run of it. And it looks a little bit different than that, but I'll put pictures of all of them. This is my candy pumpkin, so the candies shake around in here, and this one stuck around for a very long time. It was very popular. And then this was a haunted house snow globe with the ghosts and the bats that were the shaker pieces. One of my very, very favorite spreads, but I'm gonna pause here because I want to quickly talk to you guys about this week's video sponsor, Everbee. If you're anything like me, a lot of your sketches and doodles turn into stickers and keychains and other types of merchandise that you plan to sell online and or in person. And if you don't already have an online shop and are thinking about it, you can always join Etsy. And if you join Etsy, I highly recommend joining Everbee. Everbee is an extension for Etsy that plugs right into your shop to provide analytics not only on various keywords and niche topics, but your own shop and listings as well. And while you can sign up and use Everbee completely for free, the amount of data and research tools available in the growth plan is invaluable to an Etsy shop owner of any stage. Even if you already have an established Etsy shop, utilizing Everbee's research tools to analyze your own listings is extremely useful to see what aspects of your listings are underperforming and what you can do to enhance their visibility and get more sales. Even at the free level, Everbee is great for anyone who is researching niches or keywords for their Etsy listings. Everbee is going to give you the best head start using your Etsy. And even if you are using the free version of Everbee, it's incredibly helpful. Or you can click the affiliate link down below and join the growth program and get even more of a great head start. So let's get back to the sketchbook. All right, so yes, this is my very favorite spread, I think, in the whole book. This was after my favorite Pikachu pen died, and I think I was using, I don't know if I was using the like S-Gel Sharpie pen at this point. It was more of a free-flowing ink pen than it was a ballpoint pen, whatever it was. Because the Pikachu pen was a ballpoint pen, but it was a very fine ballpoint pen. But I love the boldness of this. I love my line work in this era. Almost all of these became stickers. That became a shaker keychain. It was my pumpkin spice shaker keychain. These all became stickers. Those became stickers. I don't think that became a sticker. And then these became mini pins for another keychain or another Kickstarter that I made. And then this was during the strawberry dress obsession on TikTok, and I wanted to make a witchy version of it that was like black, and I meant to redraw it, and I just never did. Definitely in spooky season now. I think this was when stuff was going on with USPS, which when is there ever not stuff going on with USPS? But I liked the idea of like a cute witch delivery girl and just couldn't quite get the anatomy right. These became them, but these were for mini stickers, like journaling stickers. Oh, this was me coming up with ideas for more stickers and stuff. Olive and Clarice dressed up as pumpkins, which I turned into a doodle that I redrew this last year that I sold as the exclusive sticker for my October 2024 shop update. And then my little pumpkin witch, she became not only a sticker, but sticky notes too, or a notepad or something. She was very cute. My friend called me a pumpkin granny because I was talking about how old I was. And then this, I'm really sad that I never made, because like it lost its relevance very shortly after that. But like I loved that concept. And then this was me trying to figure out drawing like isometric stuff. Like I'm still terrible at it. I never really practiced. I believe I was rewatching Inuyasha at the time, so I had to doodle him a little bit. And then I wanted to make this into a sticker as well, and I don't know why I didn't, because it's true. So now we're into October of 2020, which I wrote down here, because this was the first year that I did and finished an October art challenge, and that was when I did Les Spiritober. I made my own prompt list, and there was a couple people who drew along with it, but like every week, and I think this is probably why I stuck through with it, but every week I switched mediums. So I was using this sketchbook to thumbnail my ideas, and there's a whole video, I'll link it at the top. There was a whole video of me going through all of the finished pieces, or I think all of the, how did I do it? I think it was my TikToks that I made for each one. But it was a lot of fun, so I will link that up at the top if you can see it. And then some of these doodles were for my October sticker club. More Les Spiritober. I really like the line work of this, but then I drew the hat and I was like, no. Because I did the sketch first and I was like, okay, I like this concept, but I don't like how it's turning out. And then I did this and it was great and I loved it. And then I drew the hat and it was terrible. And then over here, I was conceptualizing new business cards and pin backings, and I had started to do a new thank you card design and drew myself, and I hated it, so I immediately gave up. More Les Spiritober sketches. This one became a sticker. I don't remember what exactly this one was for. And this is another like room isometric thing, but like in a bird's eye view. And I can't really see much of it to make it out, but I don't remember which prompt that was for. More Les Spiritober, and then these were the first run of my cozy cryptids that I have redrawn since then and are now staples in my shop. More Les Spiritober. I had done holiday versions of my, where did it go? These, my little like snack and drink series. This was like hot cocoa and cookies, and then I did more holiday themed tiny mini sticker sheets. And then this was for like a holiday version of one of my other type of sticker sheets that never came to be because I didn't like it. I don't resonate with Christmas as much as I do with Halloween. And now we are getting close to the new year, so into 2021. This was, actually both of these are for Patreon, but for 2 different months. So this was for December 2020 Patreon. These were for sticker sheets. And then this is for January. Wait, did I say December 2021? This is for 2020. This is for 2021. And this was when I was starting to try and introduce like a stationery club where I had done sticker sheets for journaling, like bullet journaling. I was doing a lot of that. And I was trying to, with my sticker business, do hollow foiling of my own, and it was really hard and finicky, so I didn't pursue it after this. But I really liked how all of these turned out when they were finished, so I'll put those up on the screen so you can see the finished digital artwork. This was for February Patreon, which was like a soft Valentine's love letter theme. This was in the era where I was making different aesthetics and like vision boards for ideas that I had for each month, and I let my patrons vote on it. And maybe that's why it was so successful back then, because I not only stuck to it, but gave them more like creative freedom with it and told me exactly what they wanted, pretty much. But I really loved my art in this era. And I was trying to, I remember Ryan and I would go on nightly walks and I would always talk to him about my ideas for Patreon. And he didn't agree with this idea and I didn't end up sticking with it after this month, but I ended up starting to make like character cards, because every month I would draw girls and then like aesthetic things to go with them for the sticker pack. So I would make character cards like with their names and what the theme name was and like about them. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed out that I strayed away from this, but I think I ended up getting really burnt out because I was doing so much. This was after I quit my full-time job and I started doing all of this full-time. So I had a lot of ambition out the gate, and I still had a little bit of structure from having worked, even though I was working remotely for almost all of 2020. But like over the years that has really slipped away, and it gets harder every year to like govern myself, basically discipline myself, because at the end of the day, like I'm not answering to anybody but myself and to my customers. So I guess I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. If you have any kind of ADHD, this is a hard life, but I was really burning out. So, and I think you'll see that as time goes on, but I was doing pretty good, even though I wasn't filling many pages through the last, I guess it's been 2021. So that was 18, 19, 20. So this is like 3 years worth of the sketchbook. So never mind, I wasn't doing very good. I was doing a lot of digital art though. These are more sketches for keychains and more sketches for keychains. This was, I think, stuff that I was trying to take my ideas that I was really excited about that weren't chosen for Patreon themes. I was trying to be like, well, I still like those themes, so why don't I use those themes for shop update stuff? So this was like Pastel Galaxy, Garden Tea Club, and I did a whole bunch of like stickers and keychains for these themes. This was for April 21. This is my fairy character Cleo and her frog friend Nuna, who still exist. But yeah, and these didn't do well. The plant parent redraw did really well. I'll put that up on the screen. And then this was my galaxy-haired holographic ethereal woman thing. That one did really well, and I'll put that up on the screen too. But otherwise, like, the concepts didn't do well. I'm like, well, Patreon told me they weren't going to do well, so. But it's a bummer when things don't go as planned. These were for the garden tea party idea, and then this is a sticker sheet that I still have in my shop, which is plants and self-care. And then these birds were part of a commission. I think this is getting into the summertime, because I remember being at our friend's house where everybody was playing video games and I was just kind of holed up and drawing. And I really like how these turned out. This was from the previous page, but like these were all from that one night. And even though I didn't fill the page, like I love this spread. I love this pen. I love this era of line work. And it bums me out that I stopped drawing like full figured characters instead of like little cute guys. Actually, this isn't even my handwriting. This is when my friend came over and helped me do inventory. And then now we're into 2022. This is January 2022. So I don't think I had drawn traditionally at all after this. Like, I think I really burnt out after this shop update, and that was like spring, summer 21. So yeah. This is one of my most popular stickers still. I'll put the digital up on the screen. And I really like this style, but I really like this pen. It was very loose. This was when I was making another conscious effort to finish the sketchbook, and I was like halfway, a little more than halfway at this point. Little did I know it'd take me another 3 years. But I really like these little just loose doodles. I think I was feeling really burnt out by having to go through all of the detail that was in a style like this, so I was just trying to make marks and get stuff down on the page and then clean it up later if I liked it enough. So this was me working on concepts for February 2022 Patreon. This was like the last year that I did artwork that I really, really love. So even though I was drawing this kind of concept over here with the goose and all that and the fairies, like I did something quite different than what you see on the page, but like this is the finished piece. But yeah, one of my very favorite illustrations of all time. This was fun. This was when I was making the periwinkle plush ideas and like how I wanted him to sit and have a booty. And then I was just, I think I had opened up like recommendations for people to send me doodle ideas on Instagram. Yeah, that's kind of how today was too. I really like these crabs and the fairy. I'm gonna blur this page out because this is for an item that I still am not ready to like make for my shop, but I'm not willing to share it because I don't want the idea taken. But this was for the big poster that is now a sticker sheet that I have of Periwinkle and all of his mushroom friends. And these were all of the different mushrooms that they're based on. I don't remember what that one was, but I saw a picture of it on Pinterest and I thought it was cute. Now we're a whole year ahead. This is all I did for 2022 was this. That's all I did, because now we're in July of 2023. Crazy. Over a year with touching the sketchbook. But I had started watching a lot of Star Wars, and we were watching The Bad Batch, and you can tell who my favorites are. And I think this is the only art that I ever did of them because I was so engrossed in reading fan fiction that I didn't have time to make my own art. But this was when I was, this had to have been earlier than July because these were for Midsummer Scream, that first Midsummer Scream that I did. So this was me conceptualizing coat bags and characters and stuff for that. So this is these are the first sketches of Jackie and Tommy before I did the renderings that you guys see on my stickers that I sell. And then this was, I think, one of the last colored pieces, but this was me getting the concept down for the tote bags that I did that year for that Halloween. That didn't do very well. And then here we are another year. This is all I did for 2023 was this. And then now we're in June of last year, 2024. This was for a vlog that I did, which I'll link up at the top. A vlog that I did where I drew every day for a week. And yeah, that was the only traditional piece that I did. So there's some Dungeon Meshy fan art here. So we've got Marcel and some Fallons. And then just like a little sad person. I think I was kind of going through it at this time. Then we have a little human spirit taking her potions to the apothecary, which is Ryan's character, which I have not conceptualized. You gotta draw some eyes every once in a while, some big girl anime eyes. And this I feel a lot. I feel a lot recently heartsick for places that I can no longer visit. Like places that literally no longer exist that were important to me as a kid, or like places that I can't legally visit. And then this is from October, maybe late September, when I started to do what I was calling Amatober. I was doing the sketches for those pieces before I transferred them into the little sketchbook that I was using. And then stuff with Clarice happened and I wasn't able to finish that challenge, which I'm really bummed about. So this is when I started to, this is November of 2024. This is when I started to really take filling this sketchbook out seriously. And at that point, I had my work cut out for me because I had this much left. So, actually, I think, yeah, I was doing really good. This was, I was doing the artist way, which I don't think I've even talked about me doing, but I finished that entire course in one go. And I had started to go back through some of my old art. I was working on Patreon stuff, trying to get back to my inner child. I rewatched Ed, Edd n Eddy for the first time as an adult. Thought it was cringe for all of 10 minutes, and I was like, wait, no, I really love this. But yeah, so I was just trying to get back into making marks, trying to get back into more detail, because the last 2 years my artwork has just been quick and easy. And I think that was capitalism taking over, because the quicker I could put out stuff, the quicker I could make a finished piece, the more finished pieces I could make and turn into merchandise. And so the cycle continues. So like 2023, I think, yes, was the last year for Patreon that I was doing full detail stuff, fully rendered illustrations. And it breaks my heart that I remember having the thought of, do I want to lean fully into like highly detailed work and explore my art style more, try to improve? Or do I want to lean into the simplicity of little guys and just something that's shaped and easy to make, that's going to be easier to put out for my business and for social media? And little guys won, and I think I kind of hate myself for that because it changed my art probably forever, and I'm trying to get back to the way that it was and to get back to rendering and fully detailed stuff because I think I was a better artist years ago than I am now. Admitting the problem is part of the problem, right? So this was me. This was a spread from one day. This was me trying to draw them from immediate memory, and I didn't do a very good job. And then just kind of doodling stuff that was going on. In this era when I was trying to draw a sketchbook page every day, I was just trying to get like my silly little ideas out of my head, like all my little nonsense. Like Clarice was constipated, so we were waiting for her to poop, and I drew a sun catcher that I bought. I want to turn this into a sticker because it's the vibe. But yeah, I love this spread. This was November 17th, so I think, yeah. I was behind a day, so I cheated and just folded this page in half and doodled on half of it. But I was watching other people's sketchbook videos on YouTube and watching other people go through their old art, and other people, like, sometimes I have to see how other people are creative to be like, oh, I can do that. I didn't even think to do that. So like adding whimsy to like, just this is so stupid, but just adding a little touch of whimsy and like putting stuff that is not your own art into your sketchbook, like almost like a junk journal. Never even thought about that. But we were leading up to one of my friends from high school was coming home for Christmas and was gonna do a D&D one-shot for all of us to play. And this was, I mean, she was making pre-made characters because we had asked her to, and she's hilarious and makes silly characters. But this was me just kind of fleshing out the concept for a tiefling ranger because I love tieflings. I want to have a tiefling at some point. And then this is another day of just drawing silly, stupid memes that were in my head. Cringe memes. This became the drawing for my ALA ribbon. And then this is a new sticker that I made. And then just drawing more potions. Just a little witch lady. A little human spirit, probably. I remember going through some of my older art and seeing how I had done like thin details on the inside and then the like, bold outlines, which I had done over here too. And I'm like, man, that eats. And then this was from another day when I was just getting more serious. I think I had skipped a day, yeah. This was the 21st, I'd skipped the 20th. So I did like some life drawing from one of those websites that you can like set up a session and they'll time you and feed you different images. And then I had started rewatching the Ranma 1/2 remake, which I had never watched the original, so I was like, oh, this is my vibe. And yeah, and then there's just a drawing of Ryan and Clarice. And then this was somebody's Womp 3D drawing I saw on Instagram. I don't remember who, I'm sorry. I was just doodling, but that was, they had made this. I was like, that's cute. I'm just gonna make the shape. I had skipped another day. This was me doodling. I think this was like the concept for my November exclusive sticker. Then just like some human spirit stuff. And I skipped a day because I think I had spent like the last day and a half reading fan fiction, and I remember walking out of my bedroom feeling like this, and I was like, oh, I should probably draw that. Another day of just doodling the things. This also became a sticker. One thing I really enjoyed about rewatching Ed, Edd n Eddy was I was getting sillier with my expressions and my like looser with my anatomy, and I really love that. Like, it feels good to draw that way. And then this is me drawing the Ed Boys in my own style. This kind of took over all of November for me and into December, and I was really, I don't know, I was happy. I was really happy during this time because I had a hyperfixation. More silly doodles. I really like these types of pages, and I know that I keep kind of going back and forth of like drawing a spread versus not drawing a spread. And that was more so because I was getting lazy and I was racing the clock to stick with my schedule of finishing this. This was the outfit I wore on Thanksgiving, which I really like, and I've worn it a few times since then, and I just really love it. A very 80s vibe. And I had the mild liner colors to kind of recapture the essence of this very pastel, adorable sweater. And then this took me a while, but when Ryan, for my birthday, I had found this website that would let you pick out all of the jewelry items to make your own advent calendar. So I told him that's what I wanted for my birthday, and I gave him a long list of all the pieces that I really liked. And these were every day that I opened them and what I got. And then we were also watching Heartstopper Season 3. But this was fun. I really enjoyed, like, I like these styles of the red sketches with the detail pen over it, and then the touches of color as I could. And then this was when all of my trying to be on top of things has derailed, and it has been derailed since then. But I was trying to work out the concept for the Lonely Sock Puppy, which is one of my characters that I had drawn in like late elementary school. It was in one of my very first old art flip through videos. I'll link it above. I wanted to make the Lonely Sock Puppy a Lay Spirit character. And so I was trying to get down like his essence and his shape and the detail. And I couldn't ever quite get it, so I was referencing a lot of Fox and the Hound and 101 Dalmatians concept art. And those were so much fun. Like, I had so much fun drawing these pages. I could never quite get the socks right in my doodling form, so I kept being like, well, I just need to take this to digital and rework it there and like really work it out. And I never did. And this was meant to be Patreon for December, and I'm still hung up on it. I'm so sorry, you guys. Like, I'm so far behind now. Please bear with me. But I was like, well, I think I want to make like a comic that I can put out on Instagram to announce the month's theme, which I had done here, which is like his origin, and he's cold in the snow and he finds all these socks and he puts them on his extremities. And I was just like, that's gonna be too much work. And then suddenly it wasn't December, and then suddenly it wasn't January, and here we are. More Ranma 1/2 doodles, and then I think this was a Pinterest doodle, and then just like a little self-portrait doodle. And then I think I was listening to Time After Time, and I was like, I have to draw an 80s thing. This is me catching up again. So I did a 4-minute doodle. I think this entire spread was timed of like 20 minutes. This is the stained glass piece I need to finish with me learning stained glass and like how I want to finish it. More Sock Puppy. Mad at myself for being lazy. More Double D because he's so fun to draw. And then this is, I kind of roped Ryan into this eventually too, but I was like, you know, the best way to get through these pages is to just do the blob shapes and then doodle what I see as quickly as possible. So some of this is really unhinged. Yeah, I did this a few times. Oh, this is Clarice under the Christmas tree. She likes to hang out under the Christmas tree. It's so cute. Every year, she always goes and hangs out. And then this is, if you guys have ever heard of Finch, it's one of those like task self-care apps on mobile. I've been playing it for almost a year now. Every single day I have like a 300 and almost 30-day streak. But these are all the micro pets I had at the time. I have more now because I'm really good at checking off whatever I assign my eggs to. But I just wanted to draw my bird Strawberry and all of her little micro pets, even though some of them came out worse than others. Yeah, just more redonkulous things happening in my day. Apples and dates. I had given some apples to the dogs, and then Clarice barfed it up. More shapes. These I had Ryan draw the shapes for me, and I was like, you don't understand. Like, they just need to be blobs. I don't want actual shapes. And I just got really silly with it. I have found that if I'm making cringe silly art, I'm happy. Just more doodles. I really like this one of Jackie the pumpkin cat in like a little Christmas outfit. I kind of wish that I had done more with this. And then I had more coffee that day. Usually I only allow myself to have 1 cup of coffee. And then this is me. I wanted to draw a whole bunch of my little Christmas village buildings, like just kind of as practice, and that was the only one I got to do. And then just like a little flowing comic about how I have started mouth taping at night. I really like doing silly little comics like this, and I hope that I can get back into it. And these were the only 2 colors I was using at any given time. So I went and found more and then realized that half of my mild liners were dying, so when I went to Japan, I had to buy more. I also thought I was going to be seeing Wicked like very shortly after I doodled this, but then those plans fell through and I didn't see it until I think the very last day it was in theaters. Here's another of those pages I did the shapes, and I think I was drinking this night, so I didn't I didn't end up finishing, and I moved on to the next one, and I was like, whatever I do on this page, it is what it is. I like this doodle of the Ed Boys. I think it's cute. And then I also tried to draw Clarice making a silly face, and it did not turn out well, so I was like, I'm done. So then we move on to the next day, where I was making a lot of food. I think I was doing a lot of food prep this day, vacuum sealing. And I was really tired. It took me like all day. Draw a little doodle of Olive. I think I was drawing what I planned on making that night for dinner, and I was really hungry. And then I skipped a couple of days where I finally watered my plants, and then I was drawing some cryptids that most people may have never heard of. And we're getting close to Christmas, as you can see. I wanted to draw big hair and then draw a bunch of night crawlers. And this is from a very creepy video that, if you know, you know. More holiday doodlies. Couldn't draw hands that day. And this page is fun. I found it was really easy to just put music on in my headphones and just draw the vibes. So that's what this page is. And then I just wanted to draw a bunch of eyes. A bunch of different style eyes. And then these were some recent OOTDs that I drew like literally right before I went to bed. More shapes. I really like a lot of these ones. Like I really like that person. I was trying to draw some iris flowers. I got more unhinged as I went down the page. And another set of these. I think I was listening to Dance of the Moonlight Jellies from Stardew Valley. And then this was the D&D character I ended up choosing from our friend's campaign. She was a wood elf druid. I wanted a druid. Her name was Hickory Crispers, and she just like did not give one damn. And I remember having seen some of my old drawings of characters in like character studies where I would do like the sketches of different expressions and things, and she liked to drink. And Ryan's character, Sledwardo, was a paladin who like had bare thighs. It was really funny. And I meant to draw the rest of our characters from the campaign. I still have the character sheets for reference, but this was the last one I did from 2024. And this is all just from like the last couple of days. This was me working on little doodles of a Yeti, and I like the concept of like almost like a gorilla or an orangutan shaped Yeti. There's some blue sketch doodles. I don't even know if you can see those. It's getting dark. And then this is from recently, like the last couple of days. This is since we've been back from our Japan trip, so I wanted to draw just some things and some vibes, trying to get my pen back on paper. You can see I'm not into it. Just doing more, like I'm dying to get out of this sketchbook and do more color, because this does not take paint well, and the texture of the paper, I feel like it soaks up more ink out of my markers, so like it doesn't feel nice. I don't know how to explain it. And then figure study, these were from Line of Action, and I really like all of these, and I was really surprised at how well they came out. And I did 2-minute sessions. So yeah, definitely want to do more of this. And then just some more doodles. I started to do hands and I was like, I'm not feeling it. It was more fun when I was doing it. And then I wanted to draw Syra. If you guys watched my Sonic the Hedgehog binders, Syra is my original Sonic character that I was very fond of, and just I was dying to redraw her and I hadn't had the chance since I did that video. And then I had seen this exercise on Pinterest where somebody did like different pose gestures based on like where the shoulders lie and where like the middle of the face lies, so I was just kind of practicing those from the reference. And the last page, I wanted to make something a little bit more interesting, but I was so done. I was so over it. So this was from today, actually. Yeah, I have some more options for new sketchbooks, but yeah, this is the entire Chunky sketchbook. It took me 7 years. 7 years to do all of that. And wow, it's dark in here. Good Lord. I guess it's probably a good thing you guys were seeing the screen more than I was, or the sketchbook more than me, because it got really dark in here really fast. But yeah, I am going to be better about doing more artwork, and I will talk more about this in another video, probably a dedicated video, but like I'm getting burnt out from the small business owner stuff. I want to feel like an artist, so please expect more art on this channel coming soon. And I know this thing is going to be a beast, so if you made it to the end of this video, you're incredible. But yeah, I'm hoping to finish sketchbooks much quicker now, and I can't wait to do more. So if you guys are interested in seeing a setting up a new sketchbook video, please let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because more art is on the way, more studio content is on the way as well. I'm not getting rid of it entirely. But yeah, I'm gonna end this because I know this is a very long vlog, and thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!